Hello student, this is Government Polytechnic College Mandla, Madhya Pradesh, and myself Arvind Kumar Gupta, lecturer Mathematics Department. This is my first lecture on functional analysis. We can discuss about the non-linear space, which is also a linear space. Suppose now we discuss about Banach space. Banach space. Let X T be a topological space and suppose that capital N is a linear subspace of X. That is, suppose X is a topological space and capital N is a linear subspace of X. That is, for all X comma Y belongs to capital N, and the subspace N satisfy the following condition. That is, for all X comma Y belongs to capital N implies that X plus Y belongs to capital N, and for each X belongs to capital N and alpha belongs to capital F, where alpha we can treat alpha as a scalar. Okay, alpha is an arbitrary scalar. Then the multiplication of vector x and scalar alpha is also a vector in N. If all elements of N satisfy above these conditions, X plus Y belongs to N, that is a closure condition, and alpha dot X belongs to N, then we can say that N is a linear subspace of N, X. Okay. Now we define a real valued function norm. Okay, define on capital N into R, that is norm such that N tends to capital R, because norm is a real valued function. So all value of all element of N under this function will be a real value. Okay, or that is the real number. Now we define norm as norm of X equal summation I equal 1 to n mod of xi whole square to the power 1 upon 2, where xi belongs to Rn. Okay, then norm of x, then norm of x is defined for all element of capital N. According to inner product space, according to inner product space, we can use another definition of norm such that okay, that is norm of x square equal to inner product x comma x, where the function is called an inner product. Okay, now to define a non-linear space, allow first for a normed linear space, for a non-linear space, we prove that the function, the real valued function norm is continuous. Okay, this condition hold in Banach space. Okay, now let capital N be a linear subspace of X with real valued function norm, which is define as norm of x equal summation I equal 1 to n mod of xi whole square to the power of for all x belongs to n. Okay, then the pair capital N comma norm is called a normed linear space if the norm satisfy the following condition. Okay, first, norm of x is greater than or equal 0, that is non-negativity property of x. Okay, second, norm of x equal 0 if and only if x equal 0. Okay, for all x belongs to n. Again, third condition, norm of x plus y is less or equal norm of x plus norm of y for all x comma y belongs to capital N. And fourth condition, for each x belongs to n and for all alpha belongs to f. Okay, where alpha is a scalar quantity. Okay, that is a scalar quantity. For each x belongs to n and for all alpha belongs to f, such that norm of alpha x equal mod of alpha norm of x. If the real valued function norm satisfy the following condition in n, then we can say that n is a norm linear space. Now let us prove the following condition. Okay, proof. Suppose that n is a linear subspace of x with real valued function norm. Real valued function norm is defined as, okay, norm of x equal summation I equal 1 to n mod of xi whole square to the power 1 upon 2 for all x belongs to capital N. Okay. Since for all xi is greater than or equal 0, for xi is greater than or equal 0 for each I equal 1 to dash n. Okay, then clearly implies that mod of xi is greater than or equal 0 for all I equal 1 to dash n. Okay, again mod of xi whole square is also greater than or equal 0 for all I equal 1 to dash n, because mod is also a non-negative function. So the value of each point under these non-negative function will not be negative or okay. So clearly mod of xi is greater than or equal to 0, so implies that mod of xi whole square is also greater than or equal to 0, implies that summation I equal 1 to n mod of xi whole square to the power 1 upon 2 is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, by the definition of norm is norm of x is greater than or equal to 0. The proof that norm is a non-negative real valued function. Clearly norm is a non-negative real valued function. Okay, now again we have norm of x equal 0 implies summation I equal 1 to n mod of xi whole square to the power 1 upon 2 equal 0 by definition. That is the definition of real valued function. ठीक है. Okay, implies summation I equal 1 to n mod of xi whole square equal 0, implies mod of xi whole square equal 0 for each value of I, because mod is a non-negative function. So if the summation of non-negative function is 0, then clearly each term of the summation is also 0. Therefore we can say that mod of xi whole square equal to 0. Okay, now mod of xi whole square equal to 0, clearly mod of xi equal 0 for each value of I. Okay, now implies if the mod value of xi is 0, therefore the value of xi equal to 0 for all I equal 1 to n. Therefore x equal x1 x2 xn equal 0 implies that x equal 0. Clearly, norm of x equal 0 implies x equal 0. Okay, now in above term we can say that the first non-negative property of the real valued function is satisfied, and we already proved it. Again now we try to prove the triangle inequalities of function norm with the help of Minkowski inequalities. Now we define Minkowski inequalities such that for each value of p which is greater than or equal 1 and less than infinity. Okay, then we can take the value of p is greater than or equal 1 and less than infinity. Up to infinity we can take the value of p, such that Minkowski Asimka say that summation I equal 1 to n mod of xi plus yi to the power p whole to the power 1 upon p is less or equal summation I equal 1 to n mod of xi to the power p whole to the power 1 upon p plus summation I equal 1 to n mod of yi to the power p whole to the power 1 upon p. That is called Minkowski Asimka for finite tuples. This inequality also hold for the infinite tuple or Euclidean space. That is the hold in p tuples. Okay. Now since this inequality hold for each value of p, so we can take p equal, to the inequalities hold such that summation I equal 1 to n mod of xi plus yi whole square to the power 1 upon 2 is less or equal summation I equal 1 to n mod of xi to the power 2 whole to the power 1 upon 2 plus summation I equal 1 to n mod of yi to the power 2 whole to the power 1 upon 2. This is called the triangle inequalities for each number. Okay, now we have norm of x plus y, we have for all x comma y belongs to n. For all x comma y belongs to n, we have norm of x plus y equal summation I equal 1 to n mod of xi plus yi whole square to the power 1 upon 2 by definition of norm. Okay, then now we'll denote this equation is equation number 1. Okay, now by equation number 1, this inequality hold is less than or equal summation I equal 1 to n mod of xi whole square to the power 1 upon 2 plus summation I equal 1 to n mod of yi whole square to the power 1 upon 2 by equation 1. Clearly this is the equal the norm of x plus norm of y. Okay, now we can say that the triangle inequality hold in linear subspace n under the real valued function norm. Clearly this inequality clearly norm of x plus y is less or equal norm of x plus norm of y. This inequality also prove with the help of inner product. Okay, now we can discuss about this inequality with the help of inner product in inner product space. Okay, now again we try to prove this norm of alpha x equal mod of alpha into norm of x. Okay, where alpha belongs to f is arbitrary scalar quantities. Clearly, now norm of alpha x equal summation I equal 1 to n mod of alpha xi whole square to the power 1 upon 2 by definition of norm. Okay, this is equal to summation I equal 1 to n mod of alpha square mod of xi whole square to the power 1 upon 2, because mod is a non-negative real valued function. Clear? Okay, again this is mod of alpha into summation I equal 1 to n mod of xi whole square to the power 1 upon 2. Clearly this equal to mod of alpha into norm of x. Thus norm of alpha x equal mod of alpha into norm of x. So since the linear subspace n is satisfied above 4 condition, then we can say that n comma norm is a normed linear space. Okay, this is a part of inner product space and also a part of Banach space. Okay, now we discuss about Banach space. Now we discuss about Banach space. Okay, suppose that capital N is a normed linear space. Okay, then any non-linear space N will be a Banach space if it is a complete non-linear space. Okay, in other words, we can say that a complete non-linear space will be a Banach space. By definition of Banach space, a complete normed linear space is called a Banach space. Okay, now by the definition of complete vector space or complete non-linear space, now we define a complete space. Now first we define a complete space. Okay, that is, if X is any space, X is a vector space Vs, and F is a field of a scalar. Okay, then the vector space X is called complete vector space or complete space if every Cauchy sequence is convergent in it. Okay, suppose Xn is a Cauchy sequence, that is Cauchy sequence in X, then there is a point X belongs to X such that Xn convergent to X. If X is outside of X, then we can't say that X is complete. Okay, in other words, we say that let xn be a Cauchy sequence in X, then every Cauchy sequence in X is convergent of its point, then X will be a complete space. Okay, suppose that xn n equal 1 to infinity is a Cauchy sequence, that is, for each epsilon is greater than 0, for each epsilon is greater than 0, there exists a positive integer capital N is greater than 0, such that norm of real valued function, we can take we can use the mod as a norm. Okay, the mod of xn minus xm is less than epsilon for all n comma m is greater than or equal to capital N. In other words, we can also use in the nonlinear space the place of mod, we can take the norm, that is the norm of xn minus xm, okay, is less than epsilon for all n comma m is greater than or equal capital N. If these conditions hold for a sequence xn, okay, this sequence, if these conditions hold for this sequence, then we can say that xn is a Cauchy sequence. With the property of Cauchy sequence, every convergent sequence will be a Cauchy sequence. Are you understood this property in metric space and non-linear space, Banach space, in Hilbert space, and all of field, we can take the every convergent sequence will be a Cauchy sequence. But every Cauchy sequence will be convergent. This is not true for everywhere. Okay, if any Cauchy sequence is convergent in a arbitrary space, then that space will be called a complete space, that is metric space, topological space, Hilbert. Okay, anyway, whenever if we take X is a metric space and every Cauchy sequence in X is convergent of its point, then we can say that X is a complete metric space. Okay, now by the definition of Banach space, by the definition of, I think all of you understood about the Cauchy sequence. Okay, and in next lecture we can discuss about Cauchy sequence in metric space. Okay, in this lecture we discuss about the real valued function norm and the Banach space. Okay, now by the definition of Banach space, by the definition of Banach space, let N be a normed linear space. Okay, and every Cauchy sequence in N is converge to the point of n, okay, then n will be a Banach space, okay. That is clearly I think all of you understood about the Banach space. So suppose we think about the Banach space, then we can discuss all of that. All of first we can discuss about the non-linear space, we can discuss about the complete metric space or complete non-linear space, that is the which is related to the Cauchy sequence, okay, clearly. Now in this lecture we discuss about the real valued function norm. So first we try to prove the real valued function norm is continuous, okay, continuous. Let capital N be a Banach space and there is a real valued function norm is defined on n, that is norm such that n tends to r, okay. To prove norm is a continuous function on n, it is sufficient to show that there exists a sequence xn n equal 1 to infinity in n such that in n with a point x belongs to capital N such that xn tends to x implies that norm of xn tends to norm of x, okay. In other words, we can say that for each, in other words, we can say that the real valued function norm is continuous at a point x belongs to capital N such that with the help of figure you will be try to understood about this thought about this inequalities. There is a sequence xn, there is a sequence xn, this tends to x, okay, n. The sequence xn is converged to point x, then the image of this point and this sequence in R under this function, real valued function norm, okay. The n is the domain of the real valued function norm, and capital R or set of the real number is a range of real valued function norm. Then function norm will be continuous at point x belongs to capital N if there is a distinct point xn in N such that xn tends to n, then the image of xn and x under this function norm in R, norm of xn tends to norm of x, or for each epsilon is greater than 0 there exists a positive integer, okay. For each epsilon is greater than 0 there exists a positive integer delta is greater than 0 such that, okay, such that mod of xn minus x, okay, is less than delta, implies that mod of norm of xn minus norm of x is less than epsilon, okay. Then for all x comma xn belongs to n, okay. Here the value of delta is depend on the value of epsilon and the point x. Then function norm is said to be continuous at a particular point x. If the value of delta is depend only epsilon but not a point, then we can say that the real valued function norm is called uniformly continuous. Okay student, about the uniformly continuous we discuss about in the next lecture, okay. Now all of us now in this time we discuss about the continuity of the real valued function norm. Suppose that xn is any sequence in non-linear space n which converges to the point x belongs to capital N. Then for each epsilon is greater than 0 there exists a positive integer delta which is depend on epsilon is greater than 0 such that clearly delta equal to epsilon, same value according to value of epsilon. If we take epsilon the small value, so we can take delta is also a small value, but that is the both value are positive. okay, positive, no, non-negative, okay, such that norm of xn minus x is less than delta implies that mod of norm of xn minus norm of x, okay, this is less than norm of xn minus x. Why? Solve inequalities. Okay, this is less than delta, but the value of positive integer delta is depend on the value of epsilon. So okay, so this is the equal of epsilon. Thus norm of xn minus x is less than delta implies that mod of norm of xn minus norm of x is less than epsilon for all x belongs to n. Thus xn tends to x implies that norm of xn tends to norm of x. Hence the real valued function norm is continuous. Okay, thanks.